Hello again. After the fights in the arena, the siege of Winterfell and other interesting events, it's time for a bit of peace before the next fights. Today I will take you back to Essos, and more specifically to Saros, the place that Sararer took over. Who is Sararer? Where did his ugly face come from? Does it have any real relevance to the world of A Song of Ice and Fire? Is he worthy of his legendary class? I will try to answer these questions in the presented video. I invite. Basic question. What is Saros? This location does not appear in the game yet, mainly because it is located in Essos. These are the ruins of the city of Croyne, which was the summer palace of the Rhoynar royal house. The city was partially destroyed by dragons in the Valyrian freehold because it had the misfortune of being on the route of conquest. However, it is not the ruins of this city that are the central point of this description, but the creatures inhabiting them. They used to be humans, but now they look more like stone statues. Why, some kind of magic. Not completely. It is an infectious disease called grayscale. In some respects, it is similar to chickenpox in that children are mainly infected with it, and after they have had the disease they gain immunity. It is also fatal to adults, but that's where the similarities end. The patient slowly turns gray, loses his senses, and becomes extremely dangerous to healthy people. Symptoms partly similar to rabies. I wouldn't want to encounter this in real life. However, some time passes from infection to full transformation, and here we come back to Sararer. Sararer was an alchemist and a follower of our lore. He was because he was thrown out of the temple and called a blasphemer by other alchemists because of his research. Exiled to Saros, he became infected with grayscale, but before losing his mind he created an antidote and protected himself from the worst. Additionally, the above antidote is a very effective weapon against stone men, as we call fully transformed people. Genius. Maybe I'm starting a bit against the grain, but his statistics in real-time strategy games like Siege of Winterfell or Lost Realm cause me a high level of concern. Why, you ask? Just look at this. Grants 240% of each spearman stat. This is a huge value, plus his rage ability has a triple effect. It heals in an area, which is a powerful buff in itself, increases the spearman's attack, and, as if that wasn't enough, gives you a chance to make a critical hit. It made my head hurt. Top 1 spearman in RTS mode. It's hard to imagine a better or even comparable alternative. His skills in Weirwood modes are also really noteworthy. He probably doesn't quite know whether he is a supportive or aggressive type. On the one hand, his skills have a healing effect, on the other, poison, stun. Due to the rather strange skill split, I don't really see a place for him in either Weirwood or Rebel leaders. But time will tell, especially since his last ability increases your maximum health by 20%. Maybe he's some crazy tank. Now let's look at his army skills. Yes, I saved the awakening for last. Sararer's specialization is, of course, Spearman. Provides a boost to Spearman's health, all-out attack, and increases Spearman's damage against infantry. Wait a minute. Against infantry. Interesting solution. I quickly looked through other commanders, and Sararer is a pioneer in this field. There are commanders that reduce damage taken, but there are no commanders that increase it. All Sararer specializations require it, which is not surprising. However, damage against infantry. Seriously, it still doesn't sink in for me. Sararer is an excellent spearman commander, and after a quick analysis I will go for him. But more on that in a moment. It's time for the best. Awakening. His main awakening skill interacts with weakness synergy. He is the best commander for this synergy apart from its core, Jaime Lannister, of course. Why? Because it heals. Heals from the beginning of the battle, and heals every 5 seconds. That is, for the duration of Jaime's ability, which provides weakness attacks. It doesn't require any triggers, it just heals and heals. The most powerful trigger, and it won't drop from the top spot for weakness synergy for a long time. But that's not the end, because it not only heals, but with a slightly slower startup time, it also deals damage to all enemy groups. Everyone, including those in the second and further lines. He is a mad alchemist. It can also be added that if enemy units have the weak point effect, then the damage is doubled. I hold my right hand with my left hand so that I don't spend money on it too quickly. It's worth it. How to sum it up? In one way, great. Yes, it has one drawback, rebel leaders. But let's be serious, is this a real downside? However, its true face is not in weakness synergy. I know, you probably think I'm sick. Okay, I am, but that's not the point. Pay close attention to his ability to awaken. It deals damage to all enemy units. It follows that also those distant, i.e., not in the first line. What does this really mean? That when rallying against another player, even his distant lines will reap a bloody harvest. Archers will have a hard time with players with Sararer. Additionally, it will work great in taking over buildings during Alliance Conquest or Arena of Honor. No one can hide from his poison. And I have a question for my viewers. Can you guess which other Spearhead commander immediately came to my mind as being related to him? I'll leave you with this little riddle for a week. Thank you for today and see you soon.